Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked in the mirror, and quietly wondered, how much time do I really have left to live healthy, clear-minded, and free from illness? I've spoken with so many patients in their 60s and 70s, and some of them tell me, "Doctor, I'm not afraid of growing old. What I fear is living without my memory, without the strength to enjoy life." I'm 60 myself, and after decades of working as a physician here in the United States, walking alongside thousands of older patients, I've come to realize a simple truth. Good health doesn't come from expensive pills or the latest medical technology. It comes from the small, daily habits, things we can all do, right in the comfort of our own homes. I want you to imagine this. What if just one glass of water in the morning, a short walk through the park, or a few slow, intentional breaths could lower your risk of disease after 60 by as much as 90%? Would you be willing to try? In today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 golden habits. Habits that not only protect your heart, your memory, reduce inflammation, and guard against cancer, but also bring back joy, peace of mind, and the energy you thought was long gone. These aren't just little tips. This is a journey, one that helps you reclaim clarity in your mind, strength in your body, and that spark of light in your eyes. And I'd like you to walk through each habit with me, through real stories, simple science, and my own experience, as someone who, just like you, is already living life in their 60s. Keep a steady sleep-wake schedule. They say sleep is the cheapest and most precious medicine we have. And yet, the older we get, the more we realize a good night's rest often feels like a luxury. There are nights when you toss and turn for hours, and mornings when you wake up still tired, as if your body never truly rested. Have you ever felt that way? One of my patients, Frances, a 78-year-old widow, came to me looking completely drained. She said, "Doctor, I've tried sleeping pills. I've tried herbal teas, but every morning I wake up in a fog. I don't even have the energy to take a walk or chat with my friends." We didn't add more pills. Instead, we worked on something much simpler, a consistent sleep schedule. In bed by 10 p.m., up at 6 a.m. every day, including weekends. And do you know what happened? Within just 3 weeks, she smiled at me and said, "It's like my body finally knows what to do." She began waking up without an alarm. Her mind was sharper, and even her joint pain started to ease. Science backs this up. When you keep a steady sleep routine, your body resets its natural 24-hour rhythm, the inner clock that guides your hormones, your immune system, your memory, even your cells' ability to repair themselves. During deep sleep, your brain has a kind of silent janitor, the glymphatic system, that sweeps away waste and toxic proteins, the very ones linked to Alzheimer's. But when your sleep is irregular, that cleanup crew can't do its job. And the consequences, as you know, can be serious. So instead of reaching for another pill, give yourself the gift of discipline. Go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, or staring at a screen right before bed. Create a small nightly ritual, soft music, a few pages of a book, or just sitting quietly. Something that gently tells your body, it's time to rest. And you'll see, regular sleep doesn't just heal your heart and sharpen your brain. It brings peace to your spirit. And peace, more than anything else, is what we all deserve in our later years. Embracing cold water. Have you ever stepped into the bathroom in the morning, let a splash of cold water hit your skin, and suddenly felt your whole body awaken? That jolt, it's shocking, yes, but also refreshing. It feels less like punishment and more like a wake-up call, not only for the body, but also for the spirit. I think of Gloria, a 76-year-old patient of mine. She came to me with chronic joint pain, fatigue, and a foggy mind. When I suggested ending her shower with 30 seconds of cold water, she laughed out loud. "Doctor, at my age, cold water would finish me off." But she gave it a try. A few weeks later, she returned with a big smile. "It's the strangest thing," she said. "My mornings feel clearer, my knees don't ache as much, and I actually feel younger." Science has a name for this: hormesis, a small, controlled stress that makes the body stronger. When cold water touches your skin, your blood vessels tighten and then reopen, improving circulation and delivering fresh oxygen to your tissues. At the same time, your body releases norepinephrine, a natural chemical that reduces inflammation, sharpens your focus, and lifts your mood. Think about it. Our ancestors lived in constant shifts of hot and cold weather, and their bodies became resilient because of it. But modern comfort, warm houses, hot showers, has softened us. A short burst of cold water each day helps us reclaim that natural resilience we once had. And here's the best part. You don't have to plunge into an icy lake like you see on TV. Just end your shower with 15 to 30 seconds of cool water. Or start small. Splash your face with cold water each morning. That little ritual is enough to awaken your body. I want you to imagine this. Instead of starting the day sluggish and heavy, you let the cold water run over your face. For a brief moment, your body shivers, your eyes open wide, and suddenly you feel sharper, stronger, more alive, ready to meet the day. It's not just cold water, it's a reminder, a ritual that whispers to you. Your body still has strength, still has the power to renew itself, even at 60, 70, or beyond. A daily brisk walk. Perhaps the simplest, cheapest, and most powerful medicine we'll ever have is our own 2 feet. I often tell my patients, if I could give you a pill that makes your heart stronger, your memory sharper, your blood sugar steadier, your joints more flexible, and your mood lighter, would you take it? Almost everyone nods. And then I smile and say, that pill already exists. It's called a 30-minute brisk walk each day. I think of Carol, a 76-year-old woman who came to see me after her cardiologist warned her that her cholesterol was dangerously high. She was anxious, but she also didn't want to depend on more medication. So we started small, just 5 minutes of walking each morning. The next week, 10 minutes, then 15. 6 months later, she was walking briskly for 20 minutes a day. The results? Her cholesterol dropped, her sleep deepened, and most surprisingly, she rediscovered her love for crossword puzzles, something she had abandoned because of brain fog. Science backs this up. Regular brisk walking can lower the risk of type 2 diabetes by as much as 30%. It strengthens your heart, improves circulation, and delivers oxygen-rich blood to your brain, joints, and muscles. Remember, your brain only weighs about 2% of your body, but consumes 20% of your oxygen. That's why a walk doesn't just move your legs, it refreshes your mind. Have you ever had that frustrating moment when you can't remember an old friend's name? Try taking a walk outdoors. The cool breeze, the soft sunlight, the sound of birds. They work together as a kind of therapy. As your steps find their rhythm, so does your mind. The beauty of walking is that it requires no gym, no fancy machines. Just a comfortable pair of shoes and the decision to step outside. Whether it's a park, your neighborhood block, or simply your backyard. The important thing is the movement, the intention behind each step. To get your blood flowing, your heart pumping, and your mind alive again. So tomorrow morning, when you walk, remember this. Each step you take is more than movement. It's a heartbeat of health, a rhythm of life, a step closer to a future where aging means independence, clarity, and joy. Deep breathing with the diaphragm. Have you ever felt like you were breathing, but not really breathing? The breath is short, rushed, trapped up in the chest. The body feels tense, the mind heavy, almost as if a fog has settled in. I see this so often in my patients over 60, people who've spent decades living under pressure, carrying worries, and somewhere along the way, forgetting how to take a truly deep breath. I think of Frank, an 82-year-old patient of mine. He struggled with high blood pressure and was often irritable. When I suggested he spend just 10 minutes each morning sitting quietly, placing a hand on his belly and breathing slowly, he chuckled, "Doctor, everyone knows how to breathe. Why would I need to learn?" Still, he gave it a try. 2 months later, his blood pressure had dropped, his temper softened, and he told me something that stayed with me. When I read now, my mind is sharp again, like I've turned back the clock by decades. Science tells us why this happens. Deep diaphragmatic breathing isn't just about filling the lungs. Each slow inhale lowers the diaphragm, gently massaging the liver, kidneys, and intestines. And when you exhale longer than you inhale, you switch on the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and restore mode. Stress hormones like cortisol fall, your heart rate steadies, inflammation in the body quiets down. Now imagine this, with nothing more than your breath, you can soothe your nervous system, feed your brain, and even guard against memory loss. In fact, recent studies show that older adults who practice deep breathing regularly maintain sharper memory, lower their risk of Alzheimer's, and sleep more soundly at night. I want you to try it right now. Just 1 minute. Sit still. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your belly. Inhale slowly, then exhale a little longer. Repeat it 5 times, and then ask yourself, what just changed in my body? You'll likely notice a gentle stillness rising, as if your mind just pressed the reset button. Deep breathing isn't only about bringing oxygen into the body. It's about reconnecting the mind with the body, the present moment with the self. At 60 or 70, we no longer need to race through life. What we need is peace, and the breath is the bridge that carries us there. Drink water right after waking up. There's one very simple thing most people overlook. Drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. It sounds ordinary, almost too simple. But trust me, it's one of the most powerful medicines you'll ever take. And you don't need a prescription for it. Think about it. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body has gone an entire night without water. Every breath you exhaled, every drop of sweat, every quiet process of metabolism, each one slowly drained moisture from your system. By morning, your blood is thicker, your brain is running low on oxygen, your joints are stiff. No wonder you feel sluggish, foggy, maybe even struggling to recall the name of an old friend. Have you ever had a morning like that? I remember Harold, an 82-year-old patient of mine. He often complained about poor memory, slightly high blood pressure, and mornings where he just didn't want to do anything. Then I suggested something simple. Keep a bottle of water by his bed and drink 2 glasses the moment he woke up. Just a few weeks later, the results were remarkable. His blood pressure steadied, his mind cleared, and he laughed as he told me, "Doctor, I wasn't sick. I was just thirsty and didn't know it." Science explains this clearly. Our brain is about 75% water. Even mild dehydration can impair memory, focus, and reaction time. Morning hydration thins the blood, helps the heart pump more easily, supports the liver and kidneys in flushing out toxins, reduces the risk of kidney stones, urinary infections, and even some cancers. So before you reach for your coffee or your phone, reach for water first. Warm water, room temperature, or cool, any is fine, as long as it's clean. Treat it like a ritual, a gentle way of telling your body, "I care about you. Today, we will live well." You may be surprised how something as simple as a glass of water can bring clarity, energy, and even joy to the start of your day. That is the quiet power of small, consistent habits. Eat more plant-based foods. There's an old saying I love, "Let food be your medicine, and medicine be your food." By the time we reach our 60s and 70s, we don't really need fancy banquets or heavy meals anymore. What our bodies crave is something pure, simple, and deeply nourishing. I remember one morning talking with George, an 81-year-old patient of mine. He told me, "Doctor, I take my medications every day, but I still feel tired, I keep gaining weight, and I can't sleep well." So I asked him about his diet. It was mostly red meat, fast food, and very few vegetables. I suggested he try something different. Add leafy greens to every meal, eat fruit instead of pastries, use olive oil instead of animal fat, and swap in fish a few times a week instead of red meat. At first, he wasn't happy with the changes, but after 3 months, he came back smiling, his face brighter. "Doctor, I don't feel bloated anymore. No more acid reflux, and I'm finally sleeping better." Science strongly supports this. Diets rich in plants, vegetables, fruits, nuts, beans, and healthy oils reduce inflammation, protect the heart, sharpen memory, and even extend lifespan. Harvard researchers found that people who eat more plant-based foods have up to a 30% lower risk of early death compared to those who eat very little. I want you to imagine a colourful plate: the green of spinach, the red of tomatoes, the yellow of corn, the deep purple of blueberries. That's not just food, that's nature's medicine, a rainbow of nutrients designed to keep you strong. Have you noticed how heavy and sluggish you feel after a greasy, fried meal? But when you eat fresh vegetables and fruits, your body feels lighter, your mind clearer. Your body is always whispering to you, showing you what helps and what harms. The only question is, are we listening? Start small. Add 1 extra serving of vegetables. Eat an apple a day. Keep a handful of almonds nearby. These little changes, repeated daily, become a shield, protecting your body from disease and nourishing your spirit with peace and vitality. Intentional breathing. Have you ever noticed? Sometimes we keep breathing, but we're not really living in each breath. Our body breathes automatically, rushed and shallow, without bringing us any peace. But when we breathe with intention, everything changes. I had a patient named George, 81 years old. He often struggled with insomnia and forgot small things. His daughter taught him a simple technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. At first, he felt a little awkward, but just a few weeks later he told me, "Doctor, I fall asleep faster now, my mind feels clearer, and I even remembered my son's phone number without looking at a note." Science confirms this. Controlled breathing techniques like this actually increase brain plasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. At age 60 or 70, this is priceless. It helps protect memory, lowers the risk of Alzheimer's, and keeps the mind flexible. At the same time, deep breathing brings more oxygen into the blood, nourishing every cell, boosting metabolism, and awakening organs that may have slowed down. Imagine this. Each morning, you sit quietly in your room, place your hand on your belly, take a deep, slow breath in, and gently breathe out. In that moment, there is no rush, no worry. There is only you, connected to your body, to life, and to the gift of being alive in that very breath. No machines, no medications. Just a few minutes of intentional breathing each day can ease stress, improve digestion, stabilize blood pressure, and, most importantly, bring clarity to your mind and peace to your spirit. Intentional breathing is the secret key that aging gives us. It teaches us to slow down, to notice, and to live each moment fully and meaningfully. My friends, we've just walked through 7 habits that may seem simple, yet hold the power to transform life after 60. A glass of water in the morning, a brisk walk each day, breathing deeply to calm the mind, a splash of cold water to wake up the body, adding a little more greens, a fresh piece of fruit, keeping a steady sleep routine, and above all, breathing with intention to reconnect with yourself. These are not distant miracles, and they don't require expensive medicines. They are small, everyday choices, right within your reach. And if you repeat them daily, your body will thank you, with a stronger heart, a sharper memory, and a calmer spirit. I am 60 years old myself. I've known mornings of fatigue, restless nights, and the fear of losing the quickness I once had. But these simple habits brought me back into balance, and I truly believe they can do the same for you. So imagine this. A few years from now, you are still walking confidently through the park, still remembering the name of an old friend, still sleeping soundly each night, and still smiling when you look in the mirror. Growing older doesn't have to mean fading away. It can be a new chapter, a chapter you get to write with the small choices you make each day. If you found this message helpful, please share your thoughts. Your story and determination may be the inspiration someone else needs. And don't forget, like and share this video with your loved ones. Who knows? A single glass of water in the morning or 1 deep breath could make all the difference in their health and happiness. Here's to you and to me, living not just long lives, but healthy, joyful, and meaningful ones.